It's an opportunity to talk about some of the guys that we brought to our football family here. We spent enormous hours and time, I think, over the last several weeks of trying to put together, some type of players that we all will be proud of to bring here to the University of Louisville and that'll fit our football team. We recognize all the challenges that were in front of us. Anytime you're trying to build a staff, you're trying to get the right ones to come to our program. You're trying to figure out what our needs are based on our current roster. And having done that, you haven't even been around the guys. So that makes it even a little bit more difficult. But having said all that, I think we did meet a few of our needs. Looking at our class and our signing class, we feel like we got some guys that we feel like can come in here and help us win, and in a certain positions. I think particularly offensive line, we knew that was a need there with 8 scholarship linemen when we got here. We ended up getting 5 offensive linemen to come here. I think that will help. We're still not where we need to be number-wise with our offensive line. You would like to have a minimum of 15 scholarship offensive linemen. As we look at as a parameters for your class and your team, you're going to look at each position and have a certain number of scholarship players that you want to have at that position, and that's certainly a number that we have continued to increase. And so we'll continue to evaluate offensive linemen. I think we met a need at linebacker. We ended up signing 4 linebackers in this class, and so that will help us as well. Another particular need we have is at tight end. No question about that. And again, we'll continue to recruit tight ends, hopefully in this class that we can bring in. And that could be a grad transfer as we move forward this spring. And then other players that we signed, we feel are good, obviously good players. We'll kind of get into these players. As you look offensively, offensive line wise, some of these guys, obviously fit certain needs. Williams, when we talked about him in December as an offensive tackle. Brown's a really big player, big kid, big strong player that can help us in the inside position, probably at guard. Black plays defensive line / offensive line down in Georgia. Very fast, very quick twitch. A little bit undersized as far as 260 right now, but will be a 300-pounder pretty easily. But he has the speed that we like up front. Gregory, really not a highly recruited player, but a really, really good player. A really, really good player. He is very aggressive, very strong player. He'll come in here and be one of our stronger linemen right now when he shows up here. Again, he's a guy that kind of really over the last year developed. I think he was probably 2 years ago was 5'11", 220 pounds. And so he's obviously gotten a lot taller, got a lot bigger and stronger. He is an extremely hard worker. He's just going to help us culturally as well. The kind of work ethic that he brings here with a chip on his shoulder. And of course McCoy is a grad transfer that's played a lot. I think I've started 15, 16 games down in Florida, whatever it may be. So a lot of starts down there. So he brings us some extra depth that we need there as well. Evan he's been a great surprise for us. He just got here in January. He's one of the hardest workers on our team right now. Just got here. And that's what you want from your quarterback, a guy that's going to come out there and work his tail off. But he's always over here getting extra work, going to throw. Really, really impressed by him. Aiden, the same thing. Both of these guys are awesome people, first and foremost. And just being around them now here, the last several weeks, hard workers. Aiden looks like you want him to look. He looks really good, 6'2.5". He's close to 230 now since he's been here. So he's put on a little bit of weight. So really excited about him as well. Mitchell is a guy who's really a mature body right now. I think when he came on his visit, I think he was close to 214 pounds on his visit at 5'9.5". So he's put together, got good speed, physically ready to go. Very smart player as well. GPA wise, over 3.5. So he's a very smart player. Really like him as well. Melton is a great athlete. I think we're taking him as a tight end, but can utilize him in a lot of different ways. Played running back in high school. He's got a lot of quick twitch, very fast. He'll put on weight. I think he's running track right now, so he lost a little bit when he came on his visit, but he's going to be a really good size tight end for us. He was 225 when he played last fall at running back, so really like what he can do with the ball in his hands. but the athleticism is off the charts there at that tight end position. Who we got over there? Pfeiffer. Yeah, Pfeiffer obviously is a grad transfer as well. Tight end, obviously we need help at tight end. So, he's a guy that started at Vanderbilt as an offensive lineman, lost some weight. He's about 250 right now, 245, and right in that range. So he'll be a wide for us, an on the ball tight end. Obviously we'll be able to utilize in that respect. All right, as you look over here, of course Jones we signed in December. Inside linebacker is obviously a great player. Who's not here yet will be here this summer. Boykin is a little short, I think, probably for a defensive lineman, but he'll fit our scheme great. Extremely fast off the ball, very quick, and has great strength. Looking forward to him in our scheme. I think he'll fit great in our scheme of what we're doing. Edwards, a linebacker, very versatile linebacker. Really can do a lot of things within our 3-4 defense. He can play multiple positions, and so we're excited about getting him here and figuring out where that may be. And he's one that we got in late. This not within the last 2 weeks, and just great fit. Had a great time with his visit. It was good to get him. Montgomery, I love the way Montgomery plays on film. Signed at Tulane and went to junior college, but he still has 3 years eligibility. Again, is not very tall, a little bit of a shorter linebacker, but runs extremely well and will pull his trigger, meaning the fact that he will come and run through a ball carrier. He plays with a chip on his shoulder as well. He will be a really good player for us. We're so excited about getting him here, just the way he plays. And Smith and Starks, obviously both of those players are going to be really good players for us. I think Starks is a player that we have been recruiting him for many, many years. His brother actually played for us at App State. And Starks visited, I think, 4 other Power 5 schools and ended up getting him here, right here at the end. It was a great get for us. So obviously we're excited about all these players. Can't wait to get started with them and get them here. And it's one of those things. I don't think you've ever heard a head coach be disappointed in his signing class. Obviously you're going out and getting the ones that you want to get. The challenging thing for us is the fact that here at the end, probably I don't know what the numbers are. You guys may know 85% of the guys signed in December. Whatever that may be. So that part makes it hard for us. I think for us moving forward in our 2020 class, man, we're so excited for that. We had a junior day this past weekend. Great reception for that. Those juniors, getting them over here, particularly the local kids that are playing here. They're really good players, and we got great response from that. And so we're so excited about moving forward to 2020 and getting these guys up to visit, get around our staff and our program, and we'll be able to sell these kids on that program. So with that, I'll open it up to any kind of questions.